Hello everyone, today we're going to be playing Oxygen Not Included. Now this is my first time playing this game, so we are going to be playing No Sweat mode. We're also going to be playing No Sweat mode because the developers of this game also made Don't Starve, which I personally struggle a lot with. So I'm going to be taking the safe route, and we're also going to be playing Standard mode, just because this is my first time and I don't want it to be too hard. And we're just gonna leave the world as it is. We're not gonna edit anything. Survival chance ideal. Good. And we're just gonna leave everything as is. There's no DLC content that we have. And, ooh, this is a pretty loading screen. I love that. Cooling glass. Heh. Yeah. Alright, now we're going to select our duplicates. And these are going to be our, playable characters. It's a colony management simulator from what I understand, so these are going to be our colonists, essentially. So we're gonna look at their traits, and we're gonna see which ones we want to keep. Yeah, so we're gonna re-roll Marie, and gonna get her, and yeah, so she's got good skills, but she also has biohazardous, so we're gonna re-roll her. And he's got good skills, but we're gonna re-roll him. Gotta re-roll. And he's got good skills, but he's got Luddite, I think they're genderless, but this is Marie. She's got good building, ranching, and suit wearing. She's germ resistant, and she's a Luddite, which means she has reduced machinery. If that's alright, we're gonna keep her. We're gonna re-roll this next one. And yeah, we're gonna re-roll. Yeah, so green thumb and unpracticed artist. Nails, we're gonna keep him, yeah. Yeah, and we're gonna put everyone in the red uniforms just so we match. Alright, and now we're gonna re-roll our last guy. And yeah, so our starting duplicates are going to be Marie, Nails, and Gossman. And we've put them all in red so they match. And let's go. Now we get to rename the colony, and I instantly randomized it and got home, which I think is great, so that's what we're gonna go with. And now we are going to embark. Alright, here we are, ready to go. I've awoken at the target location, but colonization efforts have already hit a hitch. I was supposed to land on the planet's surface. So yeah, we were supposed to be on the surface, but instead we are submerged, which is a little bit of a problem. So our goal is going to be to set up ways to survive and get to the surface. Alright. There we go. And we're just gonna spend a little bit of time familiarizing ourselves with the game, and then I'll come back. Alright, I found the dig tool, so we're going to have our duplicates hollow out this space a little, just so it's an even square. So yeah, we're gonna do that. And yeah, so that's oxygenite up there. I think it's producing a little bit of oxygen, but we're probably going to need to generate some oxygen later with some oxygen generators, which are going to be in the building section down there. Right there, yeah, oxygen diffuser. And we're going to need some metal ore for that, which means we're going to need to go mining and find some metal ore. So yeah, let's get digging. And there they go, digging with their laser guns. Alright, we finished digging out over there, so now we're going to dig over here. And we're just going to make sure that we have a little bit more of an area, because eventually we are going to need to set up lavatories and bedrooms and all those facilities for our duplicates. So we're going to want to hollow out more space. Alright, and using the metal that we got from hollowing that space out over there, we're going to build some oxygen diffusers. Not that one. That one is suspended in the air. Yeah, we're just going to build those two. And as you can see, the duplicates are actually kind of suffocating over there, so eventually we're going to want to do something about that, and hopefully the oxygen diffusers will help. And another thing we're going to do is actually we're going to build some oxygen diffusers over here in order to diffuse the oxygen over there. And we are going to need to build some outhouses for our colonists to do that in, yeah. We're going to build 3, 1 for each duplicate, just so they don't have terribly long lines. And that's something I'm going to keep going for the rest of the playthrough, is I'm going to try to have 1 outhouse for every colonist. Just so that there's no long lines or anything. And we're going to need generators in order for our oxygen diffusers to work. So we're going to build 3 of those, and we are going to eventually need to use copper wire to sort of link them together, but that's going to take me a little bit to figure out. You're probably going to see me struggling to figure out the power griding system throughout this playthrough, but I eventually figure it out, and then we get on our way. And over here, you can see me setting up the power grid wrong. The way you want to set up the wires actually has you go through the electrical components, not under. I'm confusing it with RimWorld, where the power will work as long as your things are adjacent to power lines. Yeah, so I've set this up wrong, and I will spend the next couple of minutes/hours trying to get it to work properly. And there go And there go my duplicates, constructing the power. And now we come to the part of the day where our colonists eat, rest, and use the lavatory. It's scheduled as downtime, and I think that's cute. It's kind of like the scheduling system in RimWorld, but in RimWorld the colonists will kind of just eat whenever they're hungry. So I think it's interesting that downtime is scheduled like that in this game. I'm going to be comparing it a lot to RimWorld, but I really do like the sort of unique eccentricities that each game has. So yeah, that ends day 1, and our colonists are going to go to sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Alright, it is now day 2, and we are mining out more of this area. We're going to eventually want access to this water here so that we can use the water, because that's going to be important for future builds. But for now, we're just going to go over it. And there's still not a lot of oxygen over here, because I've still got the power grid set up wrong. But in order to set it up right, we're going to need more metal, which is why we're mining up there. And we're going to be replacing some of this raw ground with some tile. And over here you can see some bad things happening because I've accidentally gone and made the bathrooms inaccessible. So if you look at that little gap down there, you'll see it's 3 blocks deep, but duplicates can only go down 2 blocks, up or down 2 blocks. So now the lavatories are inaccessible, and we're having to deal with this. So, yeah, we're going to need to mop that up and fix the fact that our bathrooms are inaccessible. Alright, and our colony does not have a food source, so we're going to be building a micro pusher, which again, we're going to need more metal to build. Currently, we just don't have enough metal for anything that we are trying to do, so yeah, that's how things are going. We just need more metal. Alright, now we've acquired the metal that we needed, and as you can see, nothing's working. This would be because I've set up the power grid wrong. Because the wires aren't actually going through any of the generators or the things that require electricity. So yeah, nothing works because I've set up the power grid wrong. Alright, and here we can see that I'm building a wash basin because sanitation is important, and that's going to continue to be a very important part of this game. Wash your hands. Alright, on cycle 3, we are building this water pump because we need water to make the recipes from the micro busher. And water will also have other important uses later on, but we haven't unlocked those yet. There is a research, sort of facility that I haven't realized is useful yet. No, that's not true. I do understand that research is going to be useful. I just haven't really had the downtime to utilize it yet because I'm still working on food and sanitation. And here I am deconstructing the current wires because I've realized that I've done it wrong, and I'm going to try to reclaim the materials in order to actually do it right. And up here you can actually see that I've kind of figured it out, but I'm not going to figure out how to link those wires that are currently unlinked. So this area down here where the laboratories currently are is kind of just going to become a wasteland until I figure out how to actually get oxygen over there. Alright, and our portal is now allowing us to select another duplicate or a care package. So we are going to select Turner. We're going to select Turner, and he is going to join our colony. And while our duplicates are sleeping on the morning of Cycle 4, we're going to set up the underground portion of our base. We're going to set up these 2 rooms right here, and we're going to have them dig those. And we're going to have them dig Alright, and we're also going to build down into this room here because I currently think that carbon dioxide goes down. Having played this game a little bit longer, I don't actually think that's how it works. But I do think it kind of works like that when you have oxygen diffusers. I think what the oxygen diffusers do is they basically... So you actually can have it just push the oxygen down and sort of create these carbon dioxide wells, kind of what's happening over by the lavatories. We're also going to move the lavatories because I don't like it that my duplicates are suffocating every time they try to use the bathroom. And now it's time to use some of our duplicate skill points. So we're going to have Marie take the next cooking one, I think, and that's going to make her happy and add less stress than it adds happiness. And we're going to have Turner take improved construction. Yep. And now everyone in the colony is just going to continue to improve their skills, and eventually maybe we'll have them sort of specialize and not have everyone doing everything. Alright, and now on day 6 you can see that I've actually made these rooms too high, and now the duplicates can't actually reach the assigned minings on top. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically add another floor, basically dividing each of the rooms into 2. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Alright, and you can see what that looks like right here with this bedroom right here. But you can see that it is barely breathable in there, so we're going to want to build some oxygen diffusers. Alright, here we are, setting up those oxygen diffusers and setting up the new power grid. Now you can see that I've actually figured out how to get to the wires to connect. So yeah, that's fun. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a problem there, because I actually ran out of wire before connecting those. So yeah, what we're going to want to do is we're actually going to want to deconstruct everything up top and move the power grid into the new rooms. And that's what we're going to do. Alright, and I'm also going to move the lavatories down here. Now, as you probably guessed from earlier, I'm kind of using this area as a CO2 well. So we're basically going to end up with the same problem as we had at the last lavatory spot, where people are holding their breath while doing their business. And since we can't really afford to replace materials, everything that we're not using anymore, we're going to deconstruct and reclaim the materials. So, yeah, we're gonna hop to that. Alright, and then on day 8, I discover the germ overlay, and I am appropriately horrified. Look at all those germs. I've also finally figured out how the power grid works, so we're going to move the generators down into the next room down where there's more open space. And we're going to save the area by the portal for something more important. The other thing we're going to do for our power grid is construct some batteries so that our duplicates don't have to be running on the treadmills all the time. Batteries are just a good idea whenever you have any kind of power grid. It's just good practice. Alright, and now on day 9, we are once again expanding the base. I'm not quite sure what we're going to put here next, but I'm sure I will figure out something that needs the space. We are also able now to select another duplicate. And we are going to pick Hassan mostly for his germ-resistant trait. Because germ-resistant is really important because I don't want people getting... And now on day 10, we are a strong colony of 6. We've got our bedroom set up, we've got generators and batteries, we've got a reasonable lavatory with room for everyone. We're going to need to expand soon, but for now the colony is the perfect size and has all the facilities we need. Anyway, that's all for today, and I will see you next time.